Hey, today on Tuesday Tip, we just want to give you a couple of things that we've noticed around the landscape. As you can see, I'm getting wet. And this time of the year, irrigation, where everybody's running their irrigation, and wanted to talk to you about making sure your irrigation is set properly. Right now, you can see this sidewalk is wet. We see it a lot of times this time of the year. People get out and they've got irrigation running and it's spraying over sidewalks or driveways and those type of things. And those things, grass on concrete, it really doesn't grow very well. So wanted to talk to you about that, making sure that your irrigation system is adjusted. That way you can make sure that everything is getting the proper amount of water that it needs. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I'm running my irrigation system 15 minutes a day. It's just not good enough, people. We need to make sure, with these temperatures getting as high as they are, we want to make sure that the irrigation is getting good coverage and that it's getting those spots. Make sure that you're running your irrigation system about 3 times a week at the most, and make sure you're running it at a good depth in the soil. If you have, the ability, it's great to water it about 30 minutes a zone so that the water goes down and deep and into the soil. So that way you get that good, lush, green grass, but also it doesn't just dry out on you. So that's just a simple tip on your irrigation system. Hey, stay tuned. We got a couple of easy other simple tips that we've noticed around the landscape that'll help your yard this summer as well. Hey, so while we're out and taking a look at properties, we noticed this. This is pretty common. So this is a bamboo stick that came probably with this tree when it was purchased at the nursery. And then, everybody gets a little baling twine. They put a little baling twine on here. And so we wanted to talk about that for a second, because a lot of times people do this and they forget and they leave the string on there. And then what happens is it actually is called girdling. And this tree will actually grow around that string. And you say, well, that really doesn't matter, does it? Absolutely, it does matter. Because what happens is when that tree grows around that string, you'll actually have that string sticking out. And it can cause damage to the tree over a period of time. Back in the country, you see barbed wire, where a tree is growing around barbed wire. Or a tree is growing around maybe some nails that have been put in trees. And it causes the trees to have the ability to get disease and insects and other issues inside of the tree. The original design here is for this to give this tree some stability. But as you can see, it really doesn't give a whole lot of stability to the tree. So what we would like to see on something like this, if you need some strong stability, is that we use a three-string method. We come up here and we find the branch, and we actually come down and we drive a wooden stake into the ground, and we tie it off here and we tie it off there, and we have another one off this way. And so it actually holds the tree so that it'll actually stay in place. Because again, this doesn't do much good in a windstorm, especially the windstorms we've been having lately. So that's just one more simple tip to help you out. Alright, so right here, this is a Japanese magnolia tree on a property that we maintain, and we noticed this today. As you can see, this is one of those strings holding to that old stinking bamboo. And as you can see, this thing is super tight on here. And so if we actually take this off, you'll actually see that brown line. And if you could be here, you would actually feel that bark is actually indented around where that tie was, and it will actually cause, basically just like putting a rubber band on your finger, it causes a breakdown in the circulation to going up and down. Here's another one. This customer wanted to know what kind of tree this was. As you can see, there is no writing on this tag. And we joke in our office, we say tags don't grow. And here's another prime example of that. So if you pull this off, again, you can see right there where that tag was on there, and it basically held that tight, and it actually caused the plant to actually lose nutrients out of that side. So pay attention to those trees. When you put them out, you have them out there in your landscape, you also need to go back and make sure that those girdlings are not messed up and that they're properly staked as well. So hope that tip helps you out. Look forward to seeing you next week.